Hi everyone, in this video we want to learn the difference between used to and would. Used to and would both are used to describe something in the past that they aren't true anymore. Something that happened in the past regularly, frequently, and they are not happening anymore. Used to and would are used to describe a situation that existed in the past and they don't exist anymore. So they are used to talk about past habitual actions. For example, when I was younger, I used to walk the whole way from home to work. Now I drive. Now I mostly drive. I would walk every day. Something that happened, something that I did regularly. Now I just walk. So that action doesn't happen anymore. Or I can use used to. I used to walk from home to work when I was younger. Now I'm older. Now it's difficult for me to walk this whole distance from home to work. Okay? So used to and would are used to talk about something that happened in the past and they don't happen anymore. But there are some important tips. There are some differences between would and used to. First, we use would with the time reference. Then we want to make a sentence with would to talk about something that happened in the past. We must include a time reference. For example, when I was a child, this is a time reference. When I was a child, I used to draw maps of imaginary lands. That was so fun. That used to be so fun. Dreaming of traveling through them. Well, I can easily use used to talk about something in the past. Can I use would in this sentence too? Absolutely, because I have a time reference here. I can also say, I would draw maps of imaginary lands. Used to and would both are correct because I have a time reference. But what if I didn't have a time reference in this sentence? In that situation, I wasn't allowed. By the rule of grammar, I wasn't allowed to use would. So when I want to talk about something that happened in the past regularly, or something I did in the past regularly, I need to add a time reference in order to use would. Okay? Now another example without time reference. My cat used to wake me up every morning. Here, we don't have an exact time reference. My cat used to wake me up. It's in the past. I'm talking about something that happened in the past. But maybe my cat isn't living with me anymore. Maybe he just went missing. Before he went missing, for example, my cat used to wake me up every morning before he went missing. Or it went missing. Here, I don't have a time reference here. So, used to, without a time reference, and would, with a time reference. Good. Now, as state verbs. We don't use would with the state verbs. But do you remember what kind of verbs were state verbs? Well, let's create something here. State verbs are verbs talk about emotions like, for example, like, love, hate, dislike, detest. And the second group of state verbs are thoughts verbs talking about thoughts like think, believe, consider, find out, realize. The third group of state verbs are possessions. I cannot use would with these verbs have. I can't say I would have. I should say I used to have. Own, belong. These verbs represent owning something, having something, possessing something. 4 with senses. Unless they are actions, unless senses are actions, I'm not allowed to use with these verbs like see, hear, taste, smell, or feel. Because these verbs, most of the time, doesn't have the meaning of action. They're a state of something. I'm feeling something. This is not action. Or when I'm listening to something, it's action, but I'm hearing something, it's without paying much attention. So it's most of the time, it's an state verb, not an action verb. And verbs that talk about be, for example, prove, meaning be, or exist. Am, is, are, be. I used to be, but it's not correct to say I would be. I can say I would be for different another uses of would, but this kind of would is not used with these verbs. I say I used to be a driver. I used to be a driver, but I didn't make enough money. Next line, enough money. So I quit that job and now being a YouTuber is my new job. I really love it. I love making contents for you. I quit my previous job and this is my new job, but I need your support. Please subscribe to my channel because every subscription counts if you want me to make more videos for you. Okay? So I used to be because be is an state verb, or I used to like, I used to think. For example, I used to think that being a YouTuber is easy, but it was absolutely wrong. It's more difficult than you can think. Believe me, it's very difficult. So I used to think that being a YouTuber is easy, but it was absolutely, what is this? Absolutely wrong. In this example, we don't have a time reference. I used to think. I have an state verb, think, a state verb here, think, and I don't have a time reference. So I am not allowed, based on grammar rules, I am not allowed to use would. But verbs describing an action, I can easily use would with them. For example, back in school, a time reference. Back in school, I would send stamps to my friends every holiday. Now I easily email everyone on holidays. Okay? I would send. This is an action verb. Send. I would read. I would play. I would go. I would walk. These are all action verbs. But I used to, for example, see. I used to have. I used to believe. I used to believe caffeine is good for your health until I had a heart attack and my doctor said that I need to cut back on caffeine. So I don't drink coffee anymore. I used to believe. I would believe is not correct. Or I would love to hang out with my friends. But nowadays, I care more about families than friends. So these are the examples that I can make with use. And how many times? Now, the third tip, how many times? When we want to talk about how many times something happened in the past, or how long something took to happen in the past, or how long something took to exist, how long a situation existed in the past. We don't use would and used to. For example, I went to cinema 4 times last month. Well, 4 times. So something, an action, happened 4 times last month. I am counting it. So I don't use used to or would. Used to and would are used for actions or situations happened regularly. But when I want to specify how many times, I use past simple easily. Or without time reference, I use past perfect. We have visited Italy for example, 3 times so far. Yeah, we don't use this. This is something that happened for many times, and we don't use used to or would. I have another video in my channel that I talk about other uses of would. For example, the use of would in reported speech. If you want to learn other uses of would, for example, we have would as past will. We have would in reported speech. We have would that is imaginary. So there are other uses of would. This was just another use of would. If you want to learn them, easily click on the link above and subscribe to my channel to learn the grammar, would thoroughly and fully. Now in the comments, tell me something that you would do or used to do in the past when you were a child. Thank you for watching. Until next video, peace out.